How do I invest for financial independence, retire early? Where do my investments go? Find out the steps in this video and stay to the end where I share the biggest mistake made towards financial freedom. Hi everyone, I'm Jessica and I love talking about financial freedom after experiencing burnout early on in my pharmacist career. On this channel, I share about passive income and simplifying to combat feelings of burnout and stress in your life. I also share openly about my burnout story and how I plan to retire early after paying off massive student loan debt. Make sure to watch those videos as well. Now, when you're planning for financial independence, retire early, it's important to think about your personal goals, your timeline, what accounts are available to you, and then customize them to you. So I'm going to share an overview that's a guideline. It's not a hard and fast rule for how I plan to invest in my financial independence retire early journey. So in terms of all the accounts that might be available to you, let's get on the same page with some of the accounts and the language behind them. So we have the 401k, we have the Roth 401k, we have the solo 401k, the Roth IRA, the traditional IRA, the simple IRA, the SEP IRA, the 457, the 403b, the HSA health savings account, the custodial account, the brokerage account, the 529 plan. I plan to set up my financial independence retire early accounts based on long-term goals and long-term growth in these accounts, my own personal FIRE goals, and tax benefits in these accounts. The first step is investing in your work 401k as a tax advantage account, and the maximum yearly limits are based on each year. In 2022, the yearly limit is $20,500. So for some people, that means you want to invest up to your employer match and then start investing in other things. And for some people, you can max this out. Personally, I plan to max this out. It's something that I think is really important to max out, and my employer match is based on every paycheck I contribute. So I do need to contribute all 26 paychecks to get my employer match. My second step is investing in the Roth IRA. So for the Roth IRA, the contribution limit for 2022 is $6,000. And for this one, you either can invest directly into your Roth IRA, or you can do a backdoor Roth IRA if you have an income limit where you need to go through the backdoor instead. So I will invest the $6,000 here. The third step is investing in an HSA or a health savings account. Now, for a lot of us, this is not an option. I personally do not have a health savings account because it's not the most beneficial health insurance plan for myself and my family. So if you have this plan as an option, please take advantage of it. It's a triple tax advantage type of account, but since I do not have this account, I just avoid using it altogether. The fourth step is to finish maxing out your work 401k. If you stepped away from it to achieve the other couple of goals, you want to come back and finish maxing it out because it does reduce your taxable income. The fifth step is investing in either custodial accounts for children or 529 plans for children. I do plan to do both of these at the same time and front load these accounts early on in their years of life and then contribute yearly for the custodial account. So I definitely recommend doing this if there's something that you do plan to help your children with. It's something that I'm really passionate about for generational wealth building, and because it's something that we had massive student loan debt, and it's something that we do want to alleviate from our children's lives as much as possible. Step 6, investing in a solo 401k or SEP IRA if you have a business. Now, I have a business, I have a solo 401k, and I'm able to invest 20% of my profits into this account each year. For some businesses, you can invest up to 25%. So it depends on your business type and your profits and what type of account you have. So make sure that you're checking with the regulations to know what type of account is best for your business and then how much of the profits you can invest. Step 7 is a taxable brokerage account. So once you hit your yearly retirement contribution limits, it's time to invest in a taxable brokerage account. So for 2022, the yearly retirement contribution limits are $61,000. So investing in a taxable brokerage account has no income limits, has no contribution limits. So you can put as much money in here as you want. So I invest, 6 figures into this account. It's something that is really important for investment wise and growth wise. The brokerage retirement account is also going to be really important in early retirement. If you cannot get access or you have not completed your Roth conversion ladder to get access to your funds, then you're able to get access to your brokerage account funds at any time. Step 8, cash accounts. So these cash accounts can be a variety of different ways, whether they are a CD or they are a high yield savings account that's gaining a little bit of interest. It's important to have some money in cash. So when you are planning to get towards your financial independence goal dates, you want to have about 2 years worth of expenses saved up in these cash type of accounts. And this is because if there is a bear market when you first start your financial independence retire early journey, then the bear markets typically last about 18 months and you have enough cash on hand to cover you during this time. So you won't want to have 2 years of cash on hand right away early on in your FIRE journey. It's not until you do become work optional or retire where you want to have about 2 years worth of expenses on hand. What is the biggest mistake made towards the FIRE journey and how you are investing in your accounts? I think the biggest mistake is keeping too much cash on hand. Now, remember, until you reach that work optional retire early date, you don't want to have too much cash on hand. Typically, you want to have about 3 to 6 months of expenses on hand at any one time. And if you have a really unstable type of job, maybe you will have 12 months of expenses on hand in an emergency fund in cash, maybe in a high yield savings account, gaining a little bit of interest on it. And you can get my 3% interest rate linked below. This is because, cash is losing value day to day, and we want to have that emergency fund just in case, but otherwise we want to be investing that money ideally in very strategic ways like we just listed so that you are growing your investments over time. And then as you get closer to retiring early, then you will have a little more cash on hand upwards of that 2-year expenses we talked about. Make sure you are taking action on your financial independence journey. Make sure you're getting our resources below, our KAKEIBO Method linked below as well. Until next time, my friends, cultivate joy.